And let's talk about what's going on next week. Number of key things. The earnings season gets going in earnest. We'll get our first read on Tuesday, October 11th, with PepsiCo being a very key consumer stock. And the big thing we'll be looking for is late in the week, on Friday, the 14th of October, we'll get all the big money central banks, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, and others. That should give us a big read on where we are earnings-wise. On the economic front, we'll get a number of Fed and inflation-related pieces of data. We're going to start out on Wednesday the 12th with the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, meeting minutes from its September 20 to 21 meeting, where, of course, they raised interest rates yet again. And another key piece of data will be the September Producer Price Index, also coming out that same day. Expectations are it's actually going to get higher or worse. 0.4% between August and September for an annual read of 7.3%. We will then get an even more important read, probably the most important of the week, on Thursday, October 13th, when the BLS will release the September CPI, Consumer Price Index. Consumer inflation expectation is that we'll get a little bit better to 8.1% in September from 8.3% year over year in August. So we'll be watching that closely to see what the Fed thinks of that and where we go with interest rates, Daniel.
Thanks, Jerry. Now, obviously, I got to ask you, because you're in the thick of all this news all the time and watching, obviously, what's coming up. Seems like there's a lot of whispers going around, or maybe not even whispers, but shouting that we're going to see a melt up into the end of the year. What do you think? Is that possible here?
Yeah, I mean, I personally, earlier in the year, you and I talked, actually this time last year or so, I was looking at the charts, and I'm saying we wind up with a 3% gain. I don't know, that might not be right, but if we get past October, we've gotten past September, worst month of the year historically for stocks. October is, of course, the month of crashes. We'll see how we do there. So I think we could get some gain. I personally think it would be what you'd call a bear trap rally, which is a rally within a broader bear market. I'm not very optimistic about 2023. I think we've got a lot of pain in front of us, but we could see a little bit of at least a recovery. I don't know if it gets us to positive or negative in the fourth quarter, but I think we could see some better times in the rest of this year.
Man, well, let's keep our eyes on that. Jerry, thanks so much for the opinion. Jerry, you have a great weekend, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Want to listen to the full episode as a podcast? Subscribe to Wall Street Breakfast and get Week in Bite every Saturday morning in your favorite podcast app.